Welcome to another episode of the Echoes of Eir. This time, we're taking on the saga of Lu,
A figure known for balance, light and shadow.
with a pretty unique origin story.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
We're using a translated collection of Irish myths and legends.
By Salo Calzada, great source.
So think of this as Lu 101, but...
With the juicy details, the stuff you won't find in your average textbook.
Exactly. We're going all the way, origin story, to how it all ended up for him.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a journey.
It is. It is. We'll be delving into Lu's birth and upbringing, his return to Tara,
Amidst political turmoil.
and the ultimate fate of the Tuatha Dé Danann, the magical people he led.
I've heard a little bit about that. Definitely fascinating. So where do we even begin?
Well, I guess the name's a good place to start, right? Luf.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The name itself means light or brilliant, you know? He is often seen as this, radiant, almost like a solar deity.
Okay, so we're talking serious brightness right from the start,
Yeah.
but you mentioned shadow too, right? Where does that fit in?
Yeah. That's where his epithets come in.
Epithets? Those are like, what, nicknames?
Basically, yeah. They're these descriptive names that give you more insight into the figure. So he's got Luch Lam Fada, meaning Lu of the long arms. It hints at his reach, his influence, you know.
Okay, I can see that. Long arms, reaching out, touching everything.
And then there's Lu Semeldonic. That one means Lu skilled in all arts.
Hold on. Skilled in all arts. So, he was good at everything.
Crafts, strategy, even music.
Talk about a renaissance man.
More like a Celtic deity man.
Haha, I like that. And he's associated with ravens and eagles, right?
Always watching, always knowing.
His sacred tree is the ash.
A symbol of strength and that connection between worlds.
But here's where it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah, this is where it gets good.
Unlike a lot of good guy deities, Luke isn't purely descended from the Tuatha Dé Danann.
Well, think of it this way. He kind of represents perfection through balance. See, he's descended from both the Tuatha Dé Danann. They're associated with, light, creativity, the arts. But he's also descended from the Fomorians.
The Fomorians, they're the more chaotic ones, right?
Exactly. They're often seen as representing darkness and chaos. So Luke kind of embodies both sides. He's got that light and shadow woven right into him.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So we've got this powerful figure, light and darkness, all mixed up. Sounds intense. But where does this guy even come from? What's his origin story?
Oh, well, his birth is anything but ordinary. Starts with a prophecy about Balor, the Fomorian king.
A prophecy. Oh, I love a good prophecy. What does it say?
It foretells that Balor will be killed by his own grandson, and not just any grandson. This kid's got to have both Fomorian and Tuatha Dé Danann in blood.
So this kid is born with, a target on his back?
What?
Yikes. Talk about a family drama.
Right. So Balor, you can imagine, he's pretty freaked out by this. He's got a daughter, Ithne, and he locks her up in a tower. And not just any tower. This one you can only get to by flying. He's not taking any chances.
Okay, so we've got a princess locked in a tower, a prophecy of doom, and a very worried king. Starting to feel a bit familiar.
Maybe a little. But this is where the story takes a turn. We've got Cian, he's a member of the Tuatha Dé Danann, and he's out for revenge against Balor.
Revenge?
Oh.
What did Balor do to him?
Stole his magical cow.
A magical cow. Okay, I gotta hear more about that later.
Definitely a story for another time.
Duh.
Anyway, Cian's got this plan to get back at Balor. He's going to have a child with Ithne, fulfilling the prophecy and getting his revenge all in one go.
Wow, playing the long game. But wait, how does he even get up to the tower? Is there a magic beanstalk or something?
Not a beanstalk, but there is magic involved. We've got this druid, Birog, and he uses his powers to get Cian up there. It's a pretty clandestine meeting, let's say.
Wow, a flying tryst to fulfill a prophecy. That's a new one. So what happens next?
Well, Ithne gives birth to twins. And get this, their beauty immediately gives away their parentage.
Genetics. You can't hide from them.
No kidding. Balor is furious, terrified, the whole 9 yards. He takes these babies and he throws them into the sea.
Oh, no.
One of them drowns, but the other...
Don't tell me. The other survives.
He does, and that, my friend, is our Lu. But hold on, because it gets even more interesting.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. He's rescued by none other than Manannan Mac Lir, king of the underworld.
The king of the underworld saves this baby. That's a pretty big intervention, even for a king.
You're telling me. It really speaks to the importance of Lu's destiny, you know? Manannan entrusts him to Teal'c of the Firbolg, ensuring that he's raised in that neutral environment away from the conflict that's brewing between the Tuatha Dé Danann and the Fomorians.
And this upbringing shapes him into the well-rounded individual that he becomes.
Right.
He learns from the Firbolg, a people known for their connection to the land and their practical skills, and this foundation in real-world knowledge is crucial for his future development. What was Lu's childhood like? Did he know about this crazy prophecy?
That's the thing. It's all very hush-hush. Tailtea's known for her wisdom and skill, so she's like Lu's mentor. You could almost say she was preparing him for what's to come, for his role in all of this.
Wow, a secret upbringing.
Yeah.
Training with a wise woman. Sounds a bit like a superhero origin story.
Maybe a little. But the real question is, when does he finally connect with the Tuatha Dé Danann? When does he step onto the main stage, so to speak?
That is a good question.
Well, that's where our story takes us next. To Tara, the seat of power in Ireland.
Let's go.
So Lugh arrives at the gates of Tara, and get this, it's a stormy day.
Of course it is. Dramatic entrance, right? Fit for a king.
Right. But remember, nobody really knows him yet.
Yeah, that's true. He can't just waltz into Tara, can he?
No way. The gatekeepers, they're serious about protecting Tara, so they put him through these tests. He says he's a mastersmith, a champion warrior, a skilled harpist, a poet.
Hold on, didn't we say he was skilled in all arts? I mean, that's a lot of boxes to tick.
It is. But every time he mentions a skill, you know what they say.
Not impressed.
Basically, they say, oh, we already have someone in Tara who does that. Like, every time.
Oh man, that's gotta be frustrating. But I bet Lu's got something up his sleeve.
He does. Finally, he's like, okay, ask the king if he's got one guy who can do all those things.
Oh snap. That's how you do it. So did he actually get to meet the king?
He does. He finally gets his audience with King Nuada. And this is where he really shows off. He plays Fichel, like an ancient Irish board game.
And I'm guessing he wins.
Effortlessly. And then Ogma, the champion of the Tuatha Dé Danann, throws down the gauntlet, literally.
Oh no.
He hurls this massive stone across the hall, a feat of strength that would require like 80 oxen to move. Talk about an intimidating display of power.
The strength is important.
Yeah, but Lu doesn't back down.
Of course not.
He calmly picks up the stone, throws it back to its original position.
Really?
Yeah, showcasing strength equal to Ogma's.
Okay, so he's checking all the boxes.
He's meeting each challenge head on, proving that he's not just a master of craft and intellect, but he also possesses the physical prowess of a warrior.
Okay, strength, strategy, what else? Does he juggle flaming swords?
Not quite, but he plays these enchanting melodies on the harp.
Oh right, the harp, that's a classic. But these weren't just any tunes, right?
Nope. According to the stories, these melodies could actually make people feel things, like deep emotions. They could induce sleep, sorrow, joy, you name it.
Wow, that's some powerful music. I wonder what those tunes would sound like. So what about the king? Was he, I don't know, intimidated by this guy who just blew everyone away?
Not really. Nuada sees Lugh's potential right away. He knows this guy's the real deal.
I bet. But how does that translate to, leadership? Does Lugh take over? Is there a coup?
It's actually pretty smooth. They switch places. Lugh becomes the new king, and Nuada steps down.
Wow, that's a pretty big power move. But you know what? It makes sense. The Tuatha Dé Danann needed a strong leader.
They did. Especially with the Fomorians still looming, that whole prophecy hanging over them.
Right. Early on you mentioned that you were really interested in this unexpected transformation, the connection between the mighty god Lu and the leprechauns of Irish folklore.
It's a fascinating thread, and it speaks to this enduring nature of mythology, how it adapts and evolves over time. The Tuatha Dé Danann, despite their victory over the Fomorians, they eventually face defeat themselves.
Oh, right.
This time at the hands of the Milesians, the ancestors of the Irish people, and they're forced to retreat into the hills and become the fairy folk.
So they don't disappear entirely. They just kind of shift into another realm, becoming part of this hidden world of magic and folklore that still captivates our imaginations today.
Exact.
It's almost like they become part of the very fabric of Ireland itself.
That's beautiful, the way you put it.
And within this hidden realm, Luke takes on a new role. He becomes known as Luc Romain, the master craftsman.
Yes.
And this really highlights his adaptability, his ability to embrace change and find new ways to express his skills.
It does.
So the god, who once led armies, wielded magic, defeated monstrous foes, now focuses on this intricate art of crafting, becoming a master artisan in the otherworld. It's a really intriguing shift.
It is, and it's believed that the name Luc Romain evolved over time into leprechaun. So the mighty godmaster of all skills becomes associated with these mischievous figures of folklore, known for their craftsmanship, their hidden treasures, and their connection to magic.
That is so interesting. It's amazing how these ancient myths continue to resonate with us, how they morph and adapt and take on new meanings and connections over time. Lu's journey from warrior king to master craftsman really reminds us that even in the face of change and defeat, there's always that potential for transformation and renewal.
And perhaps it's a reminder that true mastery isn't about clinging to power or titles, but about embracing the evolution of our skills and finding those new ways to contribute to the world around us, just like Lu. We all have that potential to adapt, to learn, and to find our own unique path to mastery, even in the most unexpected places.
What a fantastic way to wrap up our deep dive into the world of Lu. His story is a testament to the enduring power of balanced skill adaptability and, that interconnectedness of seemingly disparate realms. I hope you found this exploration as enlightening as I did.
It's been a pleasure joining you on this journey. May Lu's story inspire you to embrace your own potential for growth, transformation, and the pursuit of mastery in all its forms.
And until next time, keep diving deep and discovering those hidden wonders that await you.